I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Spider-Man, the film from 2002, starring Tobey Maguire. I'm going to go over my general thoughts of the movie. I'm going to go over the good, the bad, and my recommendation on whether you should go back and see this one or not in preparation for the new Spider-Man movie No Way Home. So stick around towards the end of the video for that recommendation. And slight spoiler warning here, if you haven't seen this movie yet, make sure you go back, check it out, and then come back for this review. Without further ado, let's get started.
Not everyone is meant to make a difference, but for me, the choice to live an ordinary life is no longer an option.
So to get into the good of the film first, this is one of the superhero movies that really got me into the superhero comic book genre. This movie was so revolutionary for its time. It is such a great story with a great cast of characters. You got Spider-Man, played by Tobey Maguire, who does a perfect nerdy outcast Peter Parker, but then when he has the Spider-Man costume on, he does a great job doing heroic actions. Then you got Kirsten Dunst, who's the romantic interest in this movie for Peter, and she does a good job playing off of Tobey Maguire, and they have a good chemistry on screen. And then you have Willem Dafoe playing the villain here, Green Goblin, and Willem Dafoe is a tremendous actor. What he can do with his facial movements in this movie and just his eyes, it is absolutely terrifying still to this day. He's one of the best Marvel villains there has ever been, hands down. And then you even got James Franco playing Harry Osborn, and he does a great job as well, being kind of Peter's friend and rival in the movie as well, with that triangle love interest with Mary Jane. So all these characters just work together perfectly to bring this story to life. They all have their each different little stories that overarch together, and they all grow and develop throughout this movie, and they have some great strong character scenes. Great emotions come out of all these characters, and they just do a good job pushing this action-packed story forward. And there's just so many great things to this movie. Just seeing Spider-Man use his web shooters on screen and how he's just going through the city. The web slinging in this movie is absolutely fantastic. And it's just so exhilarating. I remember my first time seeing this movie, just getting into that rhythm with Spider-Man, and it really brings you into the movie, and it just feels like a great roller coaster ride. Also, what is great in this movie is the overall script and story here. This is one of the best superhero origin stories of all time. Seeing how Peter Parker gains these powers, and then he has to still deal with struggles and obstacles at a human level, and that makes him a relatable character because he's just like your typical everyday person. But then with the powers, you see that now he is trying to deal with how can he be a hero as well. And you see some great messages in this movie and overall themes. Uncle Ben talking about how with great power comes great responsibility, and how Peter Parker has to learn that even though now he has his powers, that doesn't make him be able to do whatever he wants and just a great, perfect life. No, with that power also comes a lot of responsibility and sacrifices he has to go through to do the better for all of mankind. And that is what makes this story stand still to this day and is so powerful. That just strong theme and message throughout this whole movie, and it just leaves you at the end with that line of great power comes great responsibility. Perfect way to end this movie. Now to get into the bad of the movie. Now there isn't any major negative here. Like I said, this is a great movie. However, I could see a couple minor drawbacks. Now, I don't prefer the costume they went with Green Goblin. It looks too armory and kind of like a Power Ranger costume. I would have preferred if they went with more of a classic costume, something that would have matched up a little bit better with Spider-Man's costume. I think that would have held up better to this day. And then also, now some of the CGI and visual effects don't look as great. For example, when Goblin uses one of his goblin bombs and it turns people into skeletons. That looks really cheesy and fake now. And so, just some of those effects, even with Spider Man crawling on the wall, sometimes it looks okay, but sometimes it just looks kind of cheesy and out of place now. But for the time, in 2002, these effects were amazing and great. Just know going back to them today, they're not gonna hold up as much anymore. But those are very just minor negatives there. Overall, this movie is great.
You are amazing.
Now to get into my recommendation of whether you should go back and see this movie in preparation for Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes, I absolutely think if you have the time, definitely go back and see this movie, especially just to see Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, because we know based off the trailers that Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is back in Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm hoping that this movie gives you a little bit more connection and context for when he reappears in Spider-Man No Way Home. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But it's definitely worth it just to go back for that Willem Dafoe's original performance of Green Goblin. So that will do it for today's movie review of Spider-Man 2002. If you currently want to see this movie, just go over to Universal streaming platform Peacock and you can check this movie out for free. And then let me know in the comments below, is this one of your favorite movies of all time? Also, when is the last time you actually seen this movie? Also, like the video and then make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of that future content. We're going to bring you movie reviews, movie rankings, movie news, and movie hauls. I don't want you to miss any of that future movie entertainment. And this is Mega Mike, the movie man out here reminding you to make every day a movie day.